see a Chinese-looking person sing a song in Mandarin is a unique experience. Again, I don't see a lot of people that look like me on stage, particularly in theatre and in music and live music in Australia. I feel it's really important to let people know that somebody like me can do those things and speak in fluent Mandarin and speak in fluent English and be proud of who I am.
Sophie Ko is a singer-songwriter using music to help reconnect with cultural identity.
I remember coming home from school camp and I said to my parents, I don't want to speak Mandarin anymore. I want to speak English. And it broke their hearts. I was 10 years old and I wanted to be part of the other Anglo kids and pretend that I'm not Chinese anymore. I will give you what I see. It's almost like I've been given an opportunity to correct myself through these shows to prove that actually my parents were right in the end. And the heavens opened.
The shows are the brainchild of Moira Finucane, Jackie Smith, and their internationally acclaimed theatre company, Finucane and Smith.
When you hear a richness of stories, a richness of perspectives, it makes your life richer.
In 2014, Moira was invited to star in Chinese director Meng Jinghui's play Good Person of Sichuan in mainland China.
And there I was as the leading lady with, a young and very engaged Chinese audience. And they loved me. And Meng Jinghui said to me, you should work more in China. China loves you and you love China. So that started a collaborative journey from 2014 to today.
With support from the National Foundation for Australia-China Relations, the wheels were soon set in motion for a project known as Under the Same Sky, which aims to bring cross-cultural understanding and diversity to the stage through new collaborative productions, such as the cabaret House of the Heart, staged at Melbourne's Museum of Chinese Australian History.
It is about a house of the heart. It's about the journeys we take to reach a house of the heart, to share a sense of belonging together.
Sophie Ko used House of the Heart to tell the story of her late grandmother.
My grandmother was born in the Finucane province in the south of China. She left there when she was 16 years old because the family was too poor to afford her.
She was illiterate. She didn't know how to speak Malay, Mandarin, English. She spoke dialect, the Hokkien dialect. And somehow she survived and had 12 children, and somehow all those 12 children were educated. And somehow she lived till 103 years old.
Living in possibility and expressing your true self.
Paul Cordero was another performer in House of the Heart.
Moira asked me, do you have any stories about family, belonging, identity, migration, love, passion, loss? And I said, yeah, actually I'm working on this story. Foreign body.
Paul immigrated from Singapore to Perth when he was 12.
It's about me being an immigrant and a boy into my teens and into the exploration of my sexuality and everything that came with that, being the only Asian kid in my primary school.
It wasn't an easy time.
One of the things I say in the show is, I told one of my friends, Peter Singham in Singapore, we're moving to Australia. And he said, the colour bar over there. And I said, what's that? And he said, they don't like people with dark skin. Those things have... So, clearly there are things that, you learn to cover up.
Just stop your crying, it'll be all right. We gotta get away from here.
But just like Sophie Ko, the arts became a place of healing and belonging for Paul.
Creativity and art and stuff like that, I think it was my saving grace, and it still is.
And now, with productions like House of the Heart, Paul says he's excited to use his craft not only as a creative outlet, but also as a way to celebrate diverse voices and stories on stage.
I think in modern Australia, it shows you that it's not one colour, it's not one hue, that we're all connected by our lives and our deaths and our existence.
Welcome to the State Library.
That same ethos of fostering connection and belonging between people also underpins Finucane and Smith's next production for a younger audience, The Rock Star and the Krill. Sophie Coe is back as one of the lead singers.
Oh, the fish. Oh, the fish of the sea are born. Those kids are going to remember and talk about krill and talk about sustainability and talk about, gosh, I saw that lady play electric guitar and sang that song about eating fish. You know, that image of seeing a non-Anglo person on stage and just be is important for the next generation.
The Rock Star and the Krill saw Chinese-Australian performers also engage with pressing environmental issues. With our oceans and marine creatures facing threats like climate change and pollution, the play, starring Sophie as the rock star, invited kids to join an imaginative journey to save the whale.
We are krill.
Young audience members became krill, small but mighty and essential for the whale's survival. Their participation shares a powerful message that if we come together, even the smallest among us can make a big difference.
It brings people together and people that are different together and use kindness and sharing the same space to solve problems. It's a really great community service, which I really believe in, bringing different people together and celebrating.